I'm live. What's up? What up, world? What up? Wow. Turn my fan on. Okay. It is time. What up, Titan? Am I only coming to the right channel? I don't know. Am I? Left? I am only coming out of the left. Let me remember how to fix that. Let's see. How about now? Is it on both now? Better with music. Is only the music on the left? I think only the music. I mean, I think only my voice or my voice on both now. I don't know. I think my voice is on both. I'm gonna eat. You guys let me know. It's food time with Huey. Yeah. Cool. My voice is both. Okay, I know the setting. I know what it is. I know how it is. I know how it do, how it be. Hope everyone's doing good today. It's a new Monday, and I have a new cheese sandwich. So, an actual new cheese sandwich, not cheddar this time. Know what I'm saying? Hey. Okay. So, first thing I'm eating today, which I'm almost done with, is a piece of toast with a walnut and a cranberry chutney. Absolutely delicious. So, walnut. Covered in cranberry. What a good time to be alive. What a good time indeed. So the sandwich I have for today, hey Jeff, is it's a goat cheese instead of a cheddar this time. Goat cheese with herb. It's got a text, I think, or a message, or some kind of ding on my phone. So it is. So that's what I'm busy with. I want to know how's everyone doing today? It's a new Monday. Hope you guys are doing good on a Monday. Hungry? Tired? Sounds like a typical Monday. That's why I'm refreshing myself before I start streaming with or as I stream with a sandwich, two bowls, and some bang. Working on learning Ana and Overwatch. Making you hungry. Well, goat cheese in a toast sandwich is absolutely delicious. Would recommend. But today we're gonna do some keyboard stuff, and I have some. I will be honest and say today is a bit more chore-y than usual in terms of the keyboard things I have to do. Should I switch to normal lighting? This is like very dramatic lighting. I don't know if it's really necessary. Looks decent. You guys can see the set behind me. That's what I did this week in keyboards, and this is where I'll be doing another video after the stream. Yay! You like it? That's good. Yeah, it's pretty. It gives depth to my face. Looks like light through a window. It's not light through a window. What up, new boards? I'm just doing the early stream Huey eat and greet, where I eat food and I greet people. There we go. I don't know why I paused that one. Been waiting for the stream. Glad to see you, buddy. Glad to see you. No, but it looks like it. I wonder how it looks on Twitch. I only can see my live preview, which is pretty good. Warm it up and it would be sunset. Yeah. Am I gonna have to get a sandwich every single stream from now on? I feel like I have to at this point. What? This is like, what, 3 streams in a row? Maybe even 4 streams in a row where I've had sandwich? So, part 1 is the sandwich. So, in terms of keyboard stuff, I have an idea, okay? I'm gonna fly it by you guys. My 11 viewers. Most of you guys are the ones who are usually here early, which I very much thank you all for. But, I'm thinking for Wednesday's stream, okay? I don't think I can pull this off in time, because I would need help to pull this off. And by help, I mean, like, actively participating people. Keyboard Jeopardy. Eh? Keep talking. Well, pick contestants beforehand, or more than 3. Maybe like 3 max. Isn't like normal Jeopardy 3 or 4? I don't want too many people. So the cool thing about my audio interface, why you guys can hear the music and I can hear the music without repeat, is I have a loopback function. So yeah, 3. Okay. I have a loopback function, so it grabs the audio from my computer and it plays it through the output, which is great. Which means I could play sound effects through it, where the people playing could hear it at the same exact time they hear my voice, which means through that, in real time for all the contestants, I can have all the buzzing, all the wait timers, and all those sound cues associated with, you know, any kind of game show while they're doing it. And for the actual board itself, they could have a screen share of my screen, which would have everything, which all of you as the audience would be seeing at the same time as each other, 6 seconds or whatever the stream delay is behind us. So I have it logistically in my head, it works. So I was thinking, like, what if I made it like, you know, an every other Wednesday thing, and the winner, you know, schedule provided, comes out every Wednesday, you know, defends that title. So the only thing I don't have is a buzzing system for the contestants. All I can do is refer, say who says yes first. Soundboard. See, small windows. So that's the only thing is I don't know how like the contestants can buzz in, and if they're tied, like how to pick a tiebreaker or a winner of the tie, because you know when you have a buzzer, it tells you within like the milliseconds or the umpteenth millisecond, you know who hit first. That's the only thing I need to get in my head to work. So I'm thinking of. This could work at a meetup. Yeah, I'll probably do it to the next meetup. It'll be fun. Using big switches. That'd be pretty cool. Would be pretty cool. Okay. For those of you who watched it, how do you guys like this week in keyboards? You know, I changed things up. You guys can see my little part of my setup right here. My camera, I got a new video monitor. Some lights, the less wrinkly in the back. I can't really tell how wrinkly or unwrinkly since it's so noisy in the image. But it's better. What am I listening to? Next song. Better for sure. On one hand, the desk was really simple. I kind of like it simple. But maybe I should put more on the desk. I don't know. Because I might need to rework where I put the tags. Because you guys saw the tag on the lower corner always blocked, you know, the three big switches I had stacked up. Which took away from, like, that point of the decoration. Except for, like, the transition periods. So... There's still a lot of work to do. That's only a big issue, but we'll make it through. A little better every week, it'll work out. Yeah, that's the hope. I'm hoping eventually once I get like the set stuff and the lighting stuff, and the general basic stuff down, I can do things like, you know, like a different kind of transition effects for the lower corner. You know, tag like that swipe in or something, and then swipe out. Maybe something for like the list to go like, ooh. I don't know. None of that stuff is actually that hard. I just have like other things I'm focusing on instead. Fair enough, because I think those are like small things in the big picture of getting that show better and better every week. I will say though, the biggest part that could improve in that show is me. I have a very mumbly kind of speaking, so I always got to work on like opening my mouth and enunciating better, almost like over dramatically. Yeah, I don't know. So, there are two things I could do today. Should I A, desolder a board, or B, lube a board? The little pauses are totally fine in regular conversation, but they really stand out in video. So, I will say, it was a bad excuse. Last last night when I was doing that video, I was extremely parched for some reason. So like my pauses seemed extra long because I'd like collect enough moisture to speak and enunciate properly, is what I felt like, which still didn't come out that enunciated. So I'm gonna throw away this food. So I need to work on not getting like dehydrated. Although I say yesterday's This Week in Keyboards, because I like I switched sets and stuff, was one of the biggest pains to shoot. I was like pretty dead tired. I think I finished shooting at 1:30 a.m. and the video finished uploading after editing at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I went to sleep. I was like pretty tired at that point. So it was rough, and the reason was I did like 3 takes on my camera up there that I usually stream with. It actually has a better quality camera, just slightly for video, right? But the thing is, it can't autofocus to save its life, which I was like, okay, maybe I got better lighting. It's very simple. It has facial recognition. There's like nothing for it to focus on other than my face, basically, and that camera still couldn't do it. That camera's great for stills and great for like all my B-roll. All my B-roll's off of that, which looks pretty great. So after like 3 takes of it failing to like capture focus properly, each take is like 9 to 10 minutes, right? So it's like 30 minutes just gone of wasted takes. I'm like, I'm gonna switch back to my camcorder, and people always hate on camcorders. I don't understand. Camcorders are amazing. I want to upgrade it too. I don't even want to upgrade my mirrorless. I want to upgrade my camcorder. I get significantly more use out of a camcorder than other cameras. But that's just how I use cameras, Well, it depends on the person. Change this. But it depends on the person. For what you use changes a lot of things. Let me open up the chats so I can see the Twitch chat Torino. Twitch chat Areno. I am live. How do I go to my own channel? Why is Twitch just... Am I big dumb? Oh, I'm not big dumb. There's chat. Okay, I found it. Okay, so what do you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see some lubing action, some desoldering action? No, it's not gonna be like super heavy desoldering. It's gonna be, not super heavy lubing. It's gonna be lubing the Fiel with the inks that we built last week. Yeah, it's gonna be that. Or it's gonna be lubing my TX60 with Zelios V2s. So lubing inks or lubing inks or Zelio V2s, 62 grams in particular. What do you guys think? What dost thou think on this fine Monday? Those are the 2 choices we have to work with. They have the same amount of switches each. Haven't fully decided how I'm gonna lube them yet, but that's gonna be an adventure we can do together. Jeff, you say lube V2s 62 grams. Not a bad option. Not a bad option indeed. Any other votes before I get to it? Come on, hold on. At least I'll post my stream on Reddit. I didn't do that today. Hey, what up? Gay333, or I read E's as 3's as E's, or GA333E. What am I building today? I'm gonna be lubing today, actually. Already soldering, probably lubing. Either I'm gonna lube my TX60 with 62 gram Zelios V2s, or lube my fiel with Gateron ink switches. Those are the 2 options for today. But before that, I need to post things on places because I gotta, you know, I gotta show myself. Oh my gosh, stop it, Twitch! Don't play sounds. Don't do it, Twitch. Gabble, gabble. That works. The 3s are B's. Okay, 3s are B's. Gabble. My B. Submit text posts. MOI Monday streams. Come say hi. Come say hi while I do lube things. Bam. Okay. So, we're gonna do the Zelios, or we're gonna do the inks, guys. We got one vote Zelios, so it looks like we're gonna head that direction, unless anyone has anything else to say about it. You know what I'm saying? Beware of the things I'm saying. Okay, 1 vote inks, 1 vote Zelios. Do I hear a tiebreaker in the audience? Yes, no, maybe. What dost thou say? Inks from Newboards. Let's make it so. Inks from Nebulance. Ink from MTX Junkie. Ink from TYMM2112. Okay. That's how we're gonna do it. That's how we'll do it up tonight. First, need to find my switch tools. This is not a switch tool. Oh my goodness. Okay. Got my tools of the trade. Dramatic music, yeah, it's kind of definitely kind of moody kind of music. Definitely kind of moody. It's over though. Let's see what the next song is gonna be. How do I want to do this? Top, stem, spring. And we move on to every switch. So if you guys have any questions, let me know along the way. So I have a question for everyone in chat right now, actually. What is your travel board? I don't have a travel board, really, because I don't bring a board to work and stuff. I know a lot of people do. A lot of people have a reason to bring a keyboard with them all the time. And maybe even if you don't, what do you think would be your travel board of the boards you own? If you do or if you don't? That's my question to the audience today. I want you guys to ponder about it and let me know in chat what works for you and why. Because I think the why is a big part. Because I know some people who justify carrying a full size around. I know some people who justify carrying, you know, something super small like a Seabright or a plank, you know? I think it really depends on the person. So I want to hear, like, what it is and why exactly. Is it based on what you need or what you want, or, you know, maybe you use it lightly because, like, hey, I only go to the cafe and work on, you know, work on scripts that'll never come to fruition in a Starbucks, or, you know, maybe, you know, things like that, or like I'm a, you know, on-call accountant and I need to, you know, bring my numpad around. Maybe plank when you're far away for more than 3 days. Yeah, you used to have a minivan, but you sold it. Maybe you like it because it's small. Wouldn't bring anything larger than in a carry-on. Board you'd be a 60% Helios if you're going to the office. Gotta keep it small and quiet. Titan, you don't have one, but if you did be your TMO 50, if you were one of the TG, aka the TG3, aka the cop board. Those are, oh, those would be interesting. I mean, they have the spill-proof mat, so depending on where you work, it could be perfect for that. Been the TR60 recently. Usually a 60, it's about as small as you can use productively. Okay, hold on. I realize I have a good way of looking at chats, which is with a phone stand. A phone stand. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, guys? A phone stand. Came to the office with Alice in your backpack. You don't usually do that. 60 as small as you can use productively. 60 with silence, or none at all. Phone bound. MF108 that you swap retooled blocks into to do data entry and need all your keys. It stays at work. Solid. That's pretty cool. If I had to bring one around all the time, I'd probably choose one of my 60%. I actually might just purpose build a board for that in the future. Actually, I have an interesting idea for a video that I could do pretty easily and pretty quickly. Would you guys care for a video for keyboard builds under $100? Asterisk, provided you already have all the stuff you need to solder. You cannot remove... you can only do this if they have the switch top removable sides for the plates. I don't have an example on hand. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Oh wait, duh, I can physically show you. Okay, new boards. I got you, my dude. Look at the caps lock key, okay? The caps lock key. Okay, you see on this side where it has these little notches cut out in the square? Your plate needs to have the notches cut out in the square for you to take the tops off. So all these I'm taking out have these notches, and these notches allow these little side fangs, not fangs, they're legs, or they're pegs, these side fangs to unclip out. If you don't have those pegs, you don't have room for them to unclip out from the top of the switch. So they need to have these little inserts here, see? Where the tool perfectly fits. That's how I'm able to take them off. Oof, optical zooming, guys. None of that digital zoom. None of that digital zoom BS. Know what I'm saying? So the ones with the simple square shape wouldn't work. Yep. But yes, would you guys be interested in a man of interest under $100 build, including links to items, which I guess would be and the budget sheet? The assumption is labor is free, but you're willing to lube switches and lube the board and lube stabs. It would make good content out of enthusiasts, or a price range for build of readily available stuff. I mean, I could do that too. So I could do like a different video for like under $100, under either $200 or $250, and and then after that, just get a custom. Then it doesn't matter about your budget. I think. But within like a $200 to $250, I can give different options so people can like budget accordingly. Maybe. You love readily available builds. I can make something happen. So that's one of my ideas for a video coming up. Because I had an original other idea for a video I've been toying around with, literally for like last like 4 months. I just haven't done it because I don't know if it'll make good content. Because of what it is. Because like one of my other bits was like one of my other ideas for a video was, you know, with shitty parts, can I salvage it to be like a good keyboard? You know, like a cheapy plastic case, Gatoron blues, jailhouse spacers, trying to lube them, you know, a cheapy whatever leftover plate. I'm thinking like, wait a second, I could make it decent, but I could make it for cheap, and it'd be better to, you know, phrase that video as, hey, you too can get a cheap board if you're willing to put the work into it, and assuming you have your soldering stuff. I can even make it like a cheapy soldering equipment video too, for like, get started soldering for under $50, because this is what I did when I started soldering. What did I do that for? I switched this. There we go. Sounds like you guys are pretty interested, so I think I'll toy with a script and see what I can do in terms of the parts I have available and the way I can budget everything. So I'm pretty confident I can make it work pretty well. I may make like the one video, but like have like, hey, here's 2 options. Option A is, you know, under the assumption, you know, you have your own keycaps, or option B is like, here's the assumption that you're gonna be okay paying like within the budget, like $20 for a super cheapo set. Actually, no, I probably wouldn't do that option. I'd probably just be like, here's the option, here's the assumption that you already have keycaps, maybe from your OEM board that you're already currently using, that you can throw on, as long as you build your, you know, keyboard in a standard layout. You dig? My dog? This is most dramatic music for opening switches. Hazer Apocalypse, how you doing, bud? Hope you are doing well. Well, I'm just gonna open all these first. That would be faster, doing this assembly line style. How am I doing this fine evening? I am doing absolutely A+, hunky dory, the bee's knees. Yeah, I'm doing pretty amazing for this Monday. You know, I feel a little tired from having to stay up doing the newest This Week in Keyboards, but overall I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, overall doing pretty good. I feel pretty good about today. I definitely am on the tired side, I'll admit, but still feel okay. Given that's a Monday, yeah, for sure. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Energy drink also helps. Crazy how that works. Backdrop looked a lot smoother today on This Week in Keyboards. Yeah, it did. You know, I put some work, hit it with the steamer a few times. I think there's going to be some imperfections that I will be unable to really, like, get out of it. That's kind of like one of the realities. What do you guys think about the angle, the camera angle, and like the framing and setup of the shot? It was a lot different from last week. You know, I was a lot closer to the frame. This is UFX. Yeah, good. Yeah, I was a lot closer in frame. So I took up more of the frame. The desk was a lot cleaner overall. Just, you know, one decoration on each side of me, one-ish decoration on each side of me. Yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think of the overall backdrop aside? I know that's like one of the big talking points. Because like I'm trying to work on like the whole experience. There's a lot of things that I personally want to work on. And stickering and badging on the backdrop. A bit sterile IMO. Need a green screen at the pick of all my boards or something like that. I definitely agree. It's definitely on the like a very overly clean and sterile, but I think in that look, or at least in that the current vibe of it, I would rather work on decorating things on the desk and putting things in the forefront than things in the background. So we'll see. I definitely need to perk up my energy level. I know This Week in Keyboards last week was I was pretty tired, but yeah, I need to work on that. Look up Thomas Sandletterer. I will. Zer, I will. He is in your 3D printing subs. Nice. Speaking of subs, hopefully I get affiliate soon. I think I'm like 2 or 3 more streams out. Joe is in your dream subs. Yeah, I don't have much. I don't know if you guys realize how little room I actually have to work with. Okay, when I go back to the, after I finish all this stuff today, if you guys are still here, I'll go back to my other camera over yonder, and I'll show you guys my whole area to work with. Feels a bit far from the camera like the old Tiger Direction videos. I know what you're talking about, too. Yeah, there's a lot of things I can work on. I feel ya. I feel ya. But I'm pretty happy with the pace that the pace of progression of my content, though. Like, I think overall, you know, if you look at the last 2 months, how This Week in Keyboards has, you know, slowly trudged along and, you know, evolved to get better and better. I think it's pretty good pace. Pretty good pace of improvements. Not planning on slowing down. There's a lot of things I'm already like working on to improve for next week as well, which is going to be really fun. Okay, all the switches are disassembled. Now we gotta talk about the lubing process, because there's several routes you can go. I know a lot of people wanted me to do this because for some reason some people want to know how I lube. I don't think it's magical, but maybe it is. So let's talk about lubing mentality, lubing preferences, and I guess the Huey version of lubing, which I think is a bit distinct from the Brian method, the Krelbit method, the Swires method, the Nathan Kim method, the insert popular luber here method. And not just because it's better or worse, or theirs are better or worse, just because all of us lube differently. Asterisk. Similarities, yes, for a lot of them, but we lube with different priorities in mind. So that's something to keep in mind when you lube and when you watch me lube. I lube with something particular in mind. Maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. If you've tried my lube switches at meetups, maybe you've liked them, maybe you haven't. First, you poured soda all over your... No, you just kidding. Don't do that. Breaking in switches prior to lubing. Hot swap or plates with switch top removal. Preference? Breaking in switches for me depends on the switch. Like, if it's like a retooled Cherry MX Blacks, I'm going to break that sucker in. If it's most Gatorons, I'll do it by feel. I may or may not. Like, my Silent Yellows that I have in my Time TKL I built definitely had to be broken in. They actually feel tremendously better now that they're broken in. Still not great, but a lot better. Switches like these, I didn't have to break. I didn't have to break in. So no worries. Creams, you can lube them. You can break them in. Don't really need to. So for me, it really depends on the switch. Like, you got to hit that switch and already know if you need to break it in. If it feels like a retooled black out of the box, you need to break it in. And I don't say that because retooled blacks are like bad, because retooled blacks are great because they have so much versatility in the fact that a retooled black can be like in the depths of there to like the heights of NGBO. I'm sorry, I don't have like cool bots yet for uptime or anything. I'm sorry, I'll work on that. What bot do you guys recommend? Nightbot? Is that the one everyone uses, right? That's the one, I think, right? Well, out of the 3 sets you have from Master Lubers that you have, I've been one of your favorites. Oh, thanks, Ambulant. We just have compatible lubricosity. Do I know a reliable source of retooled blacks? Arrow. Arrow has a lot of retooled blacks. I don't know if they still have some, but NGBO, no. What is the bot I should use then? Oh, no worries. I thought you meant no to my Nightbot, but yeah. Arrow, yeah, yep. Go with Arrow, Gab. Okay, so, lubing. And the thoughts I have behind it. So I want to think, why do you lube? Why do you lube, okay? Do you lube like how... Do you lube how like Nathan Kim lubes for sound as a big preference? He has stated several times in a lot of his streams and a lot of his videos, sound takes precedent over feel for him. He sometimes claims like, oh, it must be heresy. It's not really. Actually, I think more people in this hobby care about the sound than the feel. And the reason behind that is your fingers are only so sensitive to a degree. Let me turn my volume down or change my music. And let me explain this real quick, okay? This is like, I have a lot of like scientific BS, not really scientific, pseudo-scientific BS that's only semi-founded on reality that I think and rationalize to myself about everything. Oh, that's why I'm a troubled individual. But why do you lube? Do you lube for sound? Do you lube for feel? If you lube for sound, that's fine too. And I believe a lot of people do that because there's an extent of feel worth feeling. An extent of feel worth feeling. What do I mean by that? Human finger. We type with these a lot, right? Unless you don't use your fingers, which I assume... I assume 99% of my audience, at least 99% of my audience, uses their fingers to type. Fingers are great for detecting large changes in force. When the delta of a force changes significantly, your fingers feel that. That's why a lot of people like really poppy tactiles, because there's a greater delta of force from the peak to the bottom. That's that pop that you feel for, you know, like Holy Pandas or the new Zelios V2s. That delta in force is what feels good in a lot of tactiles. Not all tactiles. Some tactiles still screw that up. But that feels good to most people when implemented correctly. And that's a function of the delta and the time in which that delta goes across, okay? So your fingers are great at detecting that delta, but they're not great at detecting the time, the force being applied gradually through time. Your finger is better at detecting that small little pop, that tactile bump, than it is what the switch feels like in an entirety of the 4 millimeters asterisk of total travel. Okay, so that's something to, you don't even need to keep that in mind. I'm just talking because this makes sense to me. Maybe it doesn't make sense to you. I hope it makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, then tell me that I'm a crazy person, because I might be. So that's my reasoning behind, you know, a lot of people don't care that much. That's fine, because some people, you know, you really don't feel that, and some people do feel that. And not feeling it doesn't mean you're any less of a keyboardist. It just means you have a different priority for the feel or sound of your switches. My fingers are pretty sensitive to all those changes, so I care a lot more about that feel than the sound. I will take a loud clackety if it has the perfect smoothness or roundness that I desire out of it. That's why a lot of my boards historically, a lot of people have always criticized my typing sounds, because they're like, why do they sound like that? I'm like, because I'm lubing for me. No one says that to my face at meetups, oddly enough. But it depends on the person. So something to keep in mind. I don't say this out of like, oh, I'm better than you place or anything like that. It's just difference and just opinion and preferences. So with that in mind, here's how I lube. I don't know how in depth I'm gonna go with how I lube. I don't know how in depth you guys care for me to go about how I lube. But so here are the 3 components, okay, that will touch lube. Well, all of them will touch lube to some degree, but the ones that will actively can be applied to lube are the switch bottoms, the springs, and the stems. Okay, so these are inks, and there's 2 different ways that I approach this. Okay, step 1 is looking at the switch bottom. Based on this switch bottom, do I lube the switch bottom or do I lube the spring? What do you guys think? For these switches, what do you think I will do right now? Will I lube the springs or will I lube the switch bottoms? The only tactile you've liked is Topra. That's fine. Topra's a great one to like, honestly. Both springs. So, what am I going to lube between the 2? The answer is, what I'm going to actively lube is just the bottom. I'm not going to actually, like, take these springs. I'm not going to take springs and brush them. I'm not going to take the springs and throw them in the lube bag. I'm only going to lube the bottoms of this board. So let me show you why I can get away with that with a demo switch. Yeah, are these lube? No, these are lube, damn it. Do I have... Blank switches. I have switches. Okay. This is something that I realized I don't think anyone has ever demonstrated. So I'm going to demonstrate this right now. And prove a point that I think a lot of people don't intrinsically realize when they're lubing. Maybe some have, but no one's pointed it out publicly, at least, to my knowledge. Maybe I shouldn't show this. Maybe I should just keep this a big Huey conspiracy secret. Need a stream. I do have a stream microscope. I could take it out if you guys care to see the stream microscope. Those who watched my stream in the past know I do. I have streamed with the microscope before. To demonstrate what I need to demonstrate, you can turn the music off and turn my fan off. Okay. If you guys want, I could get it out. Wherever it is. Maybe. Probably don't need to get it out, though. I don't know if this is going to be a good example. Yeah, well, okay. Just improve your Monday. Good to hear. Everyone's Mondays always need improving. That's what I think. Okay, so why lube the bottoms and not the springs when you can lube both, or you can lube one? Okay, so do it. Do you guys want to see it? I don't know. I can probably demonstrate what I'm doing without a microscope. I think. I will demonstrate it first, and if you guys need a microscope, we'll bust it out. Okay. Okay. So let me just put this on the side. Put the switch bottom with spring here. Zoom in. See? So it is here, okay? You see it here, it's in. So why lube just the bottom? You lube the bottom because you're gonna get you're gonna get the spring anyway. So the spring mounts around the center posts, and when you press it, of course, the coils compress and squeeze onto it, right? That's normal spring things behavior. Okay? How do you fix spring rattle? Well, everyone says, well, lube the springs. Well, what is spring rattle caused by? A lot of people talk about spring rattle like, oh, you need to lube it to fix spring rattle. But I don't think not many people actually address what is the spring rattle caused by. Spring rattle is caused by the striking of the spring on the plastic. I'm going to move my microphone like right up on this switch's grill, okay? Like, it's right there, okay? So I'm just gonna flick the spring like this. Oops, and not flick it. Try not to flick it off, but crunchy. It's not just crunchy springs. Crunchy springs is different. Loose round springs, partially, not always true. Hear that sound? That's where your crunch. That's where your crunch is coming from. It can be loose or tight springs. It can be good or bad material. It's a almost inherent thing in almost in most springs, to be honest. I don't think you can hear it. Could you guys hear? Could you guys hear it right there? I don't know if you guys could. I'm looking at my metering, and it doesn't even look like it's really registering, but it's really obvious IRL. So the reason that I lube the bottom, and to my surprise, it hasn't really taken off as much, is when you lube the bottom, it gives the spring a place to be seated on as a somewhat of a seal. Right? And that prevents, so when the spring does move around, it's bound by the lube and doesn't, when the plastic hits the metal, it doesn't make that sound. It's all dampened by the lube. That's why I lube the bottom. And I do it particularly on switch bottoms that have a more of a clack, so like a clear bottom kind of switch. So like a Telios, a Gatoron with, and you get around with a clear bottom, Kales with clear bottoms, I would lube the bottom. Whereas maybe on a switch like a Cherry MX Blacks, where I don't have to worry about the bottom making that weird sound with the spring crunch, I can lube just the spring. So that's how I decide on how I'm going to lube it. And to me, it makes a big difference. And I'm going to turn my fan back on because I'm getting really, really warm now. Goodness gracious. So you know what? No one talks about this. This is what's like the weirdest thing to me, because so many people now are streaming and doing all this stuff, and like, yeah, you just lube it, and like no one answers the why. I don't know why no one answers the why. Everyone should, because knowledge is power. I don't know. Maybe that's just like old school think, but it's the thing. So I'm gonna lube the bottom. Which I lube the bottom with today. Oh, water. Blessed nectar of the gods. No music. You just probably don't want to hear me just gurgle on water all day. Maybe you do. So what I'm saying is if you lube the bottom of the housing, you don't need to lube springs. If you do it correctly, yes. Yes. Because any part of the spring that would cause that rattle would be lubed on from the bottom housing when it compresses. When it compresses, you're gonna spread the lube to the coils that would end up making any kind of spring sounds. So Gab, you just ordered some B-Suns to try to add some cherry clear stems. Any step on what springs to add to the equation or what to lube with? That's a question of preferences, complete preferences. You should try something on the between 62 to 67 gram for the weight, I believe, in my personal opinion. And for lube, I would highly recommend for that combination 3203 would be a pretty good option for the stems, or maybe even 3204 depending on what sound profile you're looking for. I think the devil drinks water as well. Yeah, the devil probably drinks water. I mean, it's pretty hot now. Okay, so it's lubing time. So I'm gonna grab some 3204. Here. I should make this actually like a video about me explaining my lube mentality. So then everyone on RMK can say why I'm wrong. One of these days I'll do it, right? Okay, time to lube the bottoms. So the way I do this, I lube all the bottoms at once. Then I'm going to decide what I want to do with the stems. So we'll see. Do what makes me happy? Oh, a lot of things make me happy. I drink too much water too fast. Hold on. My stomach is saying, Huey, you drank that too quickly. Okay. I will probably make a video about this in the future, but like in a better format. Do what I prefer. For a lot of things. Don't puke. Blah, 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 blah. Try not to. Curious to see how I go about lubing the bottom. Still a lube noob. Vomit is a poor lubricant. Yeah, the acidity in your vomit does not work well for the copper leaves of your springs, so don't mix and match, ladies and gentlemen. How I go about lubing? I just do. And it's hard to explain without like a nice side camera giving me a nice B view of this whole action. But okay. The key thing I always tell everyone about lubing is be consistent. Be comfortable with how much lube you're applying onto your brush, and make sure you feel confident at being consistent. I'm still using these annoying vials where I have to like dig down when I get low. I hate it. Hate it. I'll zoom in. Do you guys want to see me a slight zoom in? I'll put everything in frame a little bit better. Something like this. This is a little better. Try and move it this way so it's not as much in chat. Or maybe I'll start here in the middle and I'll just move the mat as I lube it so it stays in the center frame. Okay? We'll do that, okay? Start here, and as I go across, just remind me in chats to move it across. Curious how much 3204 I use. Well, let me roll up my sleeves first, so I don't accidentally, you know, lube up my sleeves. I use a moderate amount. But, I mean, that's all relative measurement, huh? That doesn't really actually tell you anything. Nor, I believe, would really showing you, but I will still show you. Pink shirts also help you lube better. Fun fact. Pretty accurate amount. If you're curious about how much I use, I use about that much. Does that help? I use the box to help give, you know, a background. I'm rolling it between my fingers so you guys can see the 360 coverage. Oh wait, it's probably in the wave chat. I hope this helps. I only do this on the bottoms. When I go to the tops, it's different. Are you feeling that you underlube? You could be. Depends on how much. Depends on the feel and sound you want. That's the thing. I know how much. I know what I'm about. Okay, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Okay, so let me show you. Let me see if I can get that coating. Nice. That's a good picture, actually, of my coating. I don't think you can really tell, huh? No, you can't really maybe you can kind of tell. It's a consistent, even coat all around the pole. Can you guys see that? Can you guys tell? That's what I aim for, and the reason for that is, as I demonstrate, the spring will go on, consistent coat goes around, so when you press down to crunch and compress, that coat will apply to all the coils needed. That's what I do. So, try it at home. Hopefully it helps out. Well, the coat might not look a lot, but 3204, because it's like pretty thick, it's pretty viscous, so like it definitely envelops the spring a lot easier than something thinner. Oh yes, using a smaller brush is absolutely great. Typically you should always use as small of a brush as you can. How quickly does it make it way up to the spring? All you do to make it up to the spring is you put this on, you put a stem on, hit it like 10 times, and you're set. Maybe more than 10. I mean, it's like breaking in lube. With this method, you do have to break in the lube in that respect. So keep that in mind. It's not going to be like an instant, ooh. You got to let the lube move around, right? It doesn't take that long, though. It's a bit much. So there we go. But my advice, always get the smallest brush that you can. Why? Because even with the smallest brush, you can get this much lube on. And as you can see, this is way more than anyone needs. Like, look how much lube this is. This is way too much. So, don't use big brushes, use small brushes. Hey Corbin Dallas, this unfortunately is not a titanium plate. This is a just a stainless steel plate from keyboardplates.com, aka Laser Boost. You moved away from brushes to dental applicators, super small. Those work as well. But if I remember correctly, dental applicators are more like silicone brushes, where you're pushing the lube as opposed to like spreading it, right? Like, isn't like a dental applicator very similar to like a silicone brush, where it's like a solid, you know, I mean, a movable singular piece? Could be wrong. Little fuzzy nub on the end of the stick. Ah, that's right. I like brushes still for this because, as you see, like as I move it around the pole, it drags it around the pole. That's why I like using the brushes still. I think something like the dental applicator would be absolutely great though when you get to the stems. So, who's going to try this lubing method for your bottoms next time you lube switches? And if you are, please address all complaints to my Discord, which you can join in the link down below. Ha ha ha, spinning it to be a shill. See what I did there? Yes, see what I did there? No mistakes, only happy lube clouds. You want to try silicone brushes? Well, I prefer silicone brushes for stabilizers. Absolutely great for to stabilize your life. That's it. I wish I had more time to work on segues. Like, to be perfectly honest, I really wish I did. Because I used to use them a lot on Top Clack, but like with the scripted event of This Week in Keywords, I don't have as much time to write the scripts because I basically write and produce and edit the whole episode in a single evening. Because, you know, I take the news up to Sunday. It's not improv either, it's just like, I have to write a script and I go through a script. Okay, I need to use the restroom because I've been drinking a lot of liquids. So I will be right back. Oh, I have returned. How's everyone doing? Are ready for more lubing? 2 rows done. 2 in the last to go. Let's get to it, everyone. So what's the most recent board that you have lubed? And how do you feel about how you did? That's my question to everyone watching right now. No touch TKO. You don't know if you did well or not, but wow, what a difference. Yeah, that's definitely a board where even if you did badly, it would be better. Because that board needs work. Yeah. Holy Yawks on a clip aid. Felt like it was too careful and ended up slightly light. Still feels way better than stock. As long as it feels better than before, that's always means it's an improvement. And the fact that you realize you can improve even more is great. That's what counts. Hold on, let me just move this back here and do one of these instead. There we go. Your biggest problem when starting out lubing was realizing you're always using way too little. Yeah, that's a pretty common problem, just like overusing. Did up these creams, liking them a lot better. Probably went a little way too little on the lube. Creams are harder because you can't see the consistency as much. Like if you look through mine, like right now in person, I can see my consistencies pretty well on these dark ones from my side angle. It actually looks pretty great. Oh, it's hype music. I'll say though, creams are one of the switches that I definitely take my time to lube. And both times I've done them, I've been extremely satisfied with the results. What did I lube my creams with? Dang, I don't remember. Bottoms 3204 and stems 3203, I believe. That's for my Jane, and then for my X60, bottoms 3204 and stems 1514. All you had was GPL 204. No, I did one of mine. I did my Jane with 30 grade 0, 205 grade 0, I think. No, maybe 3203. 3203. Definitely have to be 3203. Okay, what I'm doing is not hype enough for this music. Speaking of which, thoughts, opinions, pluses, minuses between 3203/324 and GPL 203/204 grade 0. Still yet to try Trebosis. Yeah, the look of Gateron inks is pretty sleek. Spacebar, you can never go wrong with doing a little bit extra on the spacebar, by the way. Just a tiny bit extra. Don't like gum it up, but you know, give it a little extra love. What's my current favorite keyboard that I own? TGR Alice. Okay. Dunzo. Time to lube the stems, which I probably will with 1514. The bag method. The bag method. The accursed bag method. I think we're going to do the bag method. What do you guys think? I think that's a okay way to go. Haven't tried any 204 yet, but from your experience, 3204 is easier to work with than 205G0, which can feel terrible with too much use. Yeah. Okay. This is 2-use tabs, not my lube bag. Here's my lube bag. Do I still have enough lube in here, though, to lube switches? It's gonna be tight. We'll try it. We'll try it, everyone. I don't know if it's enough, to be honest. I need to order more thin lube. Okay. Steam gives you a hankering for putting together your holy pandas. You should. 110 red pandas and halos just sitting there. Maybe after this I'll do the same. We can do it together, bud. Okay, everyone. You take a lube bag. And you take your stem merinos, okay? And you just do a whoop, one of these. One of these. Okay? Let me check if I have any last bit of extra lube. Is the back plate custom? No, this is from keyboardplates.com, where you can grab some awesome plates like this one. Okay, it's very little. Also very little, but I'll use all of those. The forbidden bag lube technique. No, but Lubarashi-san, you've promised never to use that move again. It's the forbidden move. But I have to. It's the only way to defeat the great evil unsmooth switches. One drop, 2 drops, 3 drops, 4 drops, 5 drops, 6 drops. Come on, a little more. These only have like droplets left. I promised I'd never use the bag lube again, but now I must, in this time of need. Please, Lubarashi-san, use the bag lube. Save us. You're getting too OC about getting lube on the cruciform. Do you need therapy? Just use a brush then. Definitely don't think I have enough lube, though, to make this work properly. There it is. Mr. Grabby Hands. Okay. You ready? Are ye ready? Oh right, I need to put the springs on. Here you dolts. That's what the word of the day for y'all. Dolts. You'll know when you've done this right. By the way, for the bottoms, when you put the spring in, you feel it cushion on the way down. Like, oh, okay, that's nice. And then when you do it from like a dry switch from then on, you'll be like, oh, I know the difference now. Like, oh, okay, that's nice, and you feel it seat and seal in, basically. It's nice. It's a nice feeling. Try it with one switch right now if you can. What is this royalty-free music I'm listening to? Not bad. Not bad. Sorry for that loud clank. That was my magnetic bowl being snapped on to the top part of my workbench, where I put magnetic bowls. Okay, so I did ask this in my Discord, but I just want to ask you guys watching now. What do you guys think of the top-down view? Do you think I should replace it with like a quarter, like a 3/4, I don't know what to call it, 3/4 view, side view-ish, kind of like everyone else does? Or should I keep the top-down view? Or maybe in the future I can have both and switch between them, depending on what I show. Top-down view is nice. I like it a lot. I like it too, but I've been told the top-down view seems very impersonal. Top-down is nicer than J's because the angle is tighter. I like it how it is, but having both when it hurts. Keep top, augment with a side 3/4 when you can do both would be nice. So in the future, in the near future actually, I am planning on having both views. But for only having one view, it seems like you guys prefer the top. If impersonal is the issue, it seems like the face view thumbnail already solves it. Well, I've heard that's the case even without the even with the thumbnail, because when you have that third person view, it's like you're looking over someone's shoulder as they build, which seems, I guess, it does seem more personal because you feel more, because that view evokes more of a mood of like getting into it with the person, as opposed to like the godly view of overseeing everything I'm doing. Oh. Top view reminds you of a lab. Everything seems very precise. But yeah, you can actually see what you're doing with a top-down view. Yeah, I like being able to see shit. Crazy how that works. Seeing things is something that I enjoy. Okay, life is good when you don't have any extra springs or any missing springs. You hate it when the board feels like it's 10 feet across the table. You're an engineer. Yeah, I kind of have a similar mindset where like I like the fact about to see everything. Because I used to do a quarter or a side view. And a lot of you guys who watched my very, very early streams before I had the top view knew like there was always issues with like my hand being in the way. So sometimes I do something at an odd angle just to show the camera. But then when I did the rest of like what I was doing, you basically couldn't see it. Right. I do know, like, a lot of people like Nathan Kim have solved that very effectively, in my opinion, with his 3/4 side view. Because this is, like, over the shoulder almost. So it doesn't really matter if he's left hand or right hand, as long as he keeps this open area like this, because you're going to see like this, open. I have to be conscious of where the overlay is. Yeah, definitely not easy, because where I'm staring right now, my computer screen is 90 degrees to my right. Like, I have to like turn, actually it's farther than that. Like, I have to turn my body to physically see my computer screens and stuff. Because all I have on this table is my phone showing me Twitch chats. So sometimes you see me peeking over, it's because I'm checking the overlay. I have a kind of a good idea of where it is, because I also have this grid. Because, you know, I can use mathematics like that. Can phone stream vid? Not in the way I want it to, in which I could, like, switch between them. So, no. Let me pick that one up right. Why is this so difficult today? Should have done it before typing, to compare to how this is going to sound. Oh well. With all due respect to Nathan Kim, his streams are casual, not intensely instructive in terms of visual detail. I don't know, are mine terribly instructive? I never think my stream content is that instructive, but maybe it is. Maybe that's just like my natural mood, or my natural like tone when I do content. Because for me, this is very casual and chill. Even like me explaining lubing was like, I thought that was like very informal and like a bad form of education. Like, it should be like a nice, should be like a video of like pictures and graphs, like detailing that kind of information with like close-ups and like play on my strengths, don't copy others. Still figuring that out. Thanks, Jeff. That's really nice to hear. Why do a lot of people look down upon bag lubing? I don't know why. They claim it's a waste of lube, but I mean, like, if you're in a position where you have to budget for lube, maybe you shouldn't be lubing, because lube is very, very inexpensive, to be perfectly honest, compared to every single purchase you make on your key. Lube is cheaper than your stabilizers. So that argument, in my opinion, is like a bad argument. Some people don't like it because they have less control about the lubing, which is completely understandable and verified. Like, that's true. When you lube, it's going to be an all even, all over coating. Some people want it thicker than that. Some people want it thinner than that. You can't control that as much with bag lubing. Very, very fair point against bag lubing. Another point, you can't use thick lubes for bag lube. Only the thinnest oils, basically. You can't use a grease or anything like that. It has to be like a really thin liquid oil. A lot of people like using thicker stuff, 3203, 3204, G05, grade 0. Can't bag lube with those. So, another point against bag lube. Bag lube isn't perfect, but I think it works great if you know what you're looking for. Really the longest part of the stream. It may now be Dr. Kim, but it's always been Professor Huey, even though the syllabus is yet to be completed. Funny you mentioned that, because one of the things I was thinking on my Discord channel is running like a weekly quiz of keyboard things for people to like interact with for their own sake of knowledge. Because like one of my things that I do, like the reason I always like explain everything, even though like it's just a casual stream, is I always have this view where unless I can explain it to someone else, I haven't learned it. So I always find myself always having to explain it, not because I think that person may not know it, but to justify to myself, I know what I'm talking about. Because if I claim I know it's in my head, but I never say it, I don't actually know it. That's just me, like, faking it until I make it. But, like, I want to be real, yo. Come on, yes. Oh, shit. Did I ever end up picking up that lab coat? No, I have not. Not yet, at least. Oof, Teha types into his house. What up, my dude? Happy you're able to make it. How's your Monday? Mondays are always long. Yeah, they feel that way. Are we lubing switches today? Yes, we are. These are the ink switches that we are lubing. I already lubed the bottoms, and I just bag lubed the stems. So the bottoms were lubed with 3204, and the stems were lubed with 1514. So now I'm just putting everything together, and then I'll be set with Huey spec switches. Everyone hates on my lubing style until they try it at a meetup. Oof, Nathan, your talisman's right. You missed it. I did like a whole like 20 to quite a while, a long spiel about like my theoretical background on why and how I lube switches. I should make a video out of it one of these days. Did I lube springs? I did not lube springs. I only lube the bottom housings, which takes care of English. The springs. Come on. Why is there... Oh, wait. I'll just use... I'll make this easier on myself, everyone. I'll use tweezers. I don't know why I'm, like, making it difficult and using the grabby tool when, like, tweezers exist. And these are infinitely easier to use. Come on, Huey. Don't work harder. Work smarter. Use the right tool for the job, not the wrong tool at twice the efforts. Look at me. I'm just breezing through this now. Come on, poke. Lubing bottom housings, take care of English. Yes, we had the big talk as well, Nathan, on whether or not I should keep or get rid of the top-down view. And I think general consensus, people do enjoy the top-down view. Although in the future I'll have a side view. It's going to be from my left side because I'm right-handed. So my hand will be open to see in the future from that view. I have a second camera. I just need a second capture card. But the money is... Well, that's because you spend all your money on audio equipment. Which I mean is very justified because you sound amazing in everything you do. It's okay, I just spent money on lights. Which is... You're selling your capture card. I might get one from a friend for free. So I'll take you up on that if I don't get one from my friend. Is there? So let me explore getting mine first. If it doesn't go through, then I'll definitely hit you up, though. Part of me wants to, like, I need to, like, buy a new MOBO. Because I have a mini ITX card, a mini ITX motherboard right now. Which I love the form factor, but, like, I need it's almost better at this point for me to get like a mini ATX, because my case is micro ITX and mini ATX, or micro mini reverse that, so I can have an extra slot at the bottom, so I can get a what's it called, a capture card, not USB capture card, but like a slotted capture card. Let me restroom real quick. Be right back. MATX is big brain. Yeah, that's why I want to upgrade my Mobo to MATX, just so I can have the second card slot, so I can have my graphics card and then like and then an actual capture card on the bottom, like a proper one, or just more USB 3.0 ports, because I'm literally out of USB ports while using a 7-port hub on my desk. Crazy. Crazy how life works. The capture card, I'm getting those in external USB 3.0 one. So it only does 4K 30, not 4K 60. At I think a slightly lower bit rate. Oh man, the YouTube bit rates blow Twitches out of the water. They're like straight up double for the cap. Actually, one of my next purchases I want to make is I do want to upgrade my camcorder, which is the camera I use for all my A-roll, for like This Week in Keyboards and all my like forward-facing shots and videos. That's all done on my camcorder. I love my camcorder. I love camcorders, actually. I think camcorders are very underrated in the age of cinematic video, of using DSLRs and mirrorlesses, but I think there's still a great place in them for how I use them. So I definitely want to upgrade my camcorder in the future. New lighting, thank you. Yeah, new lighting is was pretty awesome to set up, and it was a fun to do, that new lighting. Switch top cutouts in your Quillaver loop station are garbage. That's always been forged. Those loop stations look nice, but man, no offense, but like I really don't feel like the greatest about those loop stations. Like ever since I got my AliExpress Taobao one, this one is absolutely great. You know, one giant single thick layer absolutely does the job well. I'll have affiliate status soon enough, Talisman. Soon enough. I think like 2 or 3 more. But hey, 2 streams a week, I'm making my way there bit by bit. Plus, diversifying my revenue stream to help increase production value is always well appreciated. Never gonna mess around with a Slowbro 80. I have not. Putting on switch tops. What keycaps? That's the question, y'all. I'm thinking GMK TA Royal Alpha. Maybe. 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 All of them. Something neutral, nor slightly neutral. Wait. Something neutral nor slightly neutral. What? Camping. Toxic or Irish? Irish? Iris. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that the Irish are garish. Or GMK Jessica, aka Mood Ring. Make Huey Dar bait. I actually have before. If one of my old Imager posts from like 2 years ago, I mixed like 8 GMK styles in one board, just for the lulz. So in this week in keyboards, I'm thinking, should I wear ties in the future? I'm thinking no, I'm thinking just a button up is enough. I always think about that. A lot of people said the switch to collared shirts was a good option compared to how I used to do it with just t-shirts. No need. Button up or polo. Yeah, everyone likes. A lot of people told me they think the button-up look works perfect for this week in keyboards and how the show goes. So I've been keeping that up. Huey going fancy. Nah, just button-up shirts. I think it's just because people don't want to see all my anime shirts. These switches are smooth, though. What happened to the lab coat idea? So the lab coat idea was going to be for a different series, not for which switch. The lab coat was going to be, instead of which switch, if I made a different tutorial called the Switch Lab. Or something along those lines instead. Or something lab. Or like keyboard lab or something like that. And that was where either it would be a lab coat or like a work shirt, like, you know, what you'd see guys wear at auto shops, with my own patch sewed on. Nunrealist, going to do your first build soon. Any thought on the KBD75 kit? It's a decent kit. I think it'll be pretty set for doing that as your first build, to be honest. Take your time, don't rush it, and, you know, you might have a pretty nice board on your hands. Hugh Hefner style lounge pajamas and robe flanked by Asian bunnies. If only. If only. $25 viewers. Hey everyone who's joining in. Finishing up putting switch tops back on this board, and then I'll be done. Need to break in the lube a little bit, but feels pretty nice. Feels pretty nice. Much better. Stainless steel plate, definitely making it loud. I should get some silencing underneath the PCB. I think that'll resolve the last of my issues. Maybe some sorbothane. Keycaps. That's what's going to happen next, I think. Maybe? Probably? Yeah. Let's make it happen. Pristine is an option. GMKTA Royal Alpha is an option. That's all the options you guys get today. I think we're just going to go with one of these two. Does a DZ60 RGB board fit in a Tata case? No. Are Gatoron just copies of Cherry switches, or do they have different feels? It depends on the Gatoron, and yes, they do have different feels than Cherry to some degree. The blues will still feel like blues, the reds, browns, browns. The blacks are different, for example. Yellows are something that Cherry has no equivalent to. The silent switches between both, in my opinion, are still pretty different. That's based off of Gatoron's not being that good, unless they're Zeals, because he's worked on those molds to be better. Jeff say TA. Go TA. Is this a green too light? What do you guys think? Do you guys think this green will work? Think we can make this green work? That's what I'm curious about. Also, I expect this fitment to be very poor because this is my set that has cracked stems. That one does. Some cracked stems, not all cracked stems. Hopefully it'll be Daijobu. You want a smooth, tactile switch. Smooth, tactile switch. QWERT. Yeah. Fortunately, they're still staying on pretty well. This is not on all the way. There we go. Interesting sound with this lube technique for these switches and this plate. That is particularly interesting. I'll play that very close up to the microphone later. But for a solid, smooth, tactile, Zelio V2s, especially when lubed, are going to be a really, really good option. Lubed Ergo Clears, lubed Mod M's. Essentially, you're going to want to lube anything you do. For if you want like a nice, as Nathan Kim would be a fan of, buttery, smooth feeling, you gotta lube it up, buttercup. Baby, I love you. That song is over, so is this playlist. Let's change the mood or the genre. Bum 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 bump. Let's go to the Nathan Kim genre. Gab, can I share my take on lubing legs and tactile switches? Sure. What would you like to know about how I feel about lubing legs on tactile switches? I mean, it's a pretty broad question. Usually the rule is don't lube legs at all. Who told you that rule? What? What? That's silly. Actually silly. There are times worth doing it and times not worth doing it, whether it is for tactiles or linears. Specifically for the linear variety. For tactiles, it's absolutely okay to lube the legs. It's not recommended. Some people may not recommend to people who are newer at lubing, because if you overlube them, you may ruin the sense of tactility that you already wanted. Like, if you already like the tactility and you accidentally add too much, you're going to lose that feel you already liked. Unless you know how to change it into a way that you like it. It's easier. It's probably medium. It's as easy as it is messed up as to get it right, to a degree, right? Depends on how patient you are and how consistent you are when you go through and lube. Last but not least is the shift key. Where is the shift? Here it is. Got it. Got it. Cool. So yeah, the big thing is a preference thing. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to say it's just a preference thing. I will preface with that. But I'll still explain what I said, because you asked me to, you know, explain my take on it. But yeah, I feel like, no, it's completely justified. It's completely fine to lube it. Just because you can change it. Like, I have some mod M's that feel absolutely wonderful, and I've smoothed the tactility but not taken it away to the point where it's a nice, very smooth and rounded one. Whereas it has that feel that I elicit. Remember when I talked about, if you were here earlier, for my my little tirade on why I lube and what I think about when I do so? It's that same kind of mentality, at least I always stick with. So there are times where I think, oh, I want to lube this. I think maybe I'm okay with cutting down the tactility a little bit in order to round out that feel for a much more smoother, cleaner feel. Because there's a big difference between a clean feeling and not clean feeling switch. And I'm not talking about like the physical, you know, dirt particulates on the switch either. If you know between like a really nice lube switch and even a badly lube switch or non-lube switch, in your mind you form what feels clean and unclean. Maybe that's not the good words to use it. I don't like using words necessarily like buttery when it can be clean and not buttery for the switch feel, right? It has this fluidity to it, whether it's thick lubed or thin lubed, that when I lube, want to achieve. Which is different. So I got some plate sounds because of stainless steel plate. Let's do something about okay, first, I'm going to turn the sound off real quick because things entropy. I'm going to give you guys a little listen to how this sounds. You guys will be actually, through this, with my shotgun mic, I'm pretty sure you guys will hear the switches and actually how they resonate off this plate as like two separate things in your ear, so you can see what lubing the switches did versus the uphill battle we have to overcome with a tray-mounted steel plate. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my fan off as well. So everyone, squint your ears. As you guys know, my standard modem measurements, one of these guys. Okay, one of these guys in measurements. You know what I'm saying though? When I say you can hear the switch and the plate as different things in your ear, And when I wanted to accomplish this because it allows me to just focus on how do I want to isolate the sound in the plate to make it better. The switch sound has been solved for. The switches need to be broken in still with the new lube. But when I type normally, you hear that plate. There, especially on the G and H in the middle, because there's the hole in the middle that the sound reverberates out of. Something in my Spacebar tablet, Save Ledger is revving, which is annoying. So ignore that, but I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about. And this is like kind of why I lube, to like break these elements down, because I believe like if you can break all the elements down on your keyboard, you can truly understand it as like a full typing experience. Don't worry, Pluto, I'll have that lube guide and theory right up someday. So, how are we going to tackle this plate, everyone? Let's try taking the plate off and seeing what we have underneath and working from there. That's going to be the mission for today. Dealing with the stainless steel plate. I think it's a beautiful stainless steel plate. But the issue with stainless steel plate is, you know, stainless steel. And the overall plate acoustics. So, we'll try one easy method first. Inserting that middle screw. In chat, let me know. I have all the screws screwed in, except for the middle screw here in the middle and by the space bar. Okay? So, question 1. Do you think if I put a screw in the middle, it would change that plate sound? Let me know what you think. Honestly. Like, I'm honestly curious. What do you think? Do you think it will make a difference? Good or bad? Or not make a difference at all? But this is something we can really, really do a very simple test on. Because I feel like these are the things that people kind of overlook when they build boards. Look at all these extra screws I have of various varieties. Screwing will make a difference. I think it'll make a difference. Don't know if good or bad. For show will change acoustics. I think everyone's in mostly agreement that it will change. Will sound cleaner, according to Nathan. Are you guys in agreement with him or in disagreement with him? He has reasoning behind this. That's good. More ping with metal case. Less difference between typing on edge and center. Fun fact, guys. I can't do that yet. Remember what I did last stream? Remember what I did last stream? I had to take everything out first. Some of you guys may remember what I did last stream. I ended up blocking that bottom hole, so we're gonna have to take the long way around and undo everything first. Sound cleaner and deeper once screwed. Will reverberate less. Yeah, I did one of these. Where's my magnetizer? Stuck to the tape. Magnetizer, absolutely great. Magnetize me, Captain. Gaff mod. Oh my god, it's so gaffer tape, so great. No, I'm just gonna push it in. Here we go. Okay. So, was it here? Yes, it is. I just poked a hole. Perfect. Let's just widen this a little bit with a little bit of a DIY action. So the first test, we're going to put all the screws in, hear that sound difference. The next test, I'm just going to start layering more gaffer tape. And for those who are wondering from last stream, you know, may have been doubtful, like, Huey, are you sure it doesn't leave any residue? Yep, I'm sure it doesn't leave any residue. Look how easy that is to take off. Okay, let's put all the screws in now. Properly this time. Okay, let's put all the keycaps back on. Take a look at how this sounds. Okay. Move my microphone one Huey unit away. Still around the G&H key. But it's better. It is better. Pluto's asks, if you ever get tired of that PC job, powder coat for anyone wondering, what would you end up doing with it? Different powder coat, Cerakote, custom anno, sell it? I really don't know. I really don't know. I'd consider refinishing it if I got tired of the screen. I think it's a pretty nice screen, actually. It's finished pretty unevenly, if I have to be real with you, but that's what happens sometimes. Like, if you see how the gloss here versus the matte here, they don't even feel the same. Pretty different, so. Might even just like strip it raw and just use it raw. That's my bad thing. See, this is all like glossy. This top part is like just straight up matte. This back part is like mostly glossy. This side is matte. This side is Also matte. I think Tyson is like way too full with like orders to worry about like me, so I don't think I'll be getting on that list anytime soon. Yeah, I was thinking if I was gonna refinish this, I would just strip it raw. Raw alu, baby. So, what do you guys think about this board? Should we do more? Try to solve this ping in the middle? Or do you think that's just how this is going to be? It's not... I don't mind it that bad for this board. Sorbethane insert. I could put sorbethane. Would you guys like to see some sorbethane inside of this? That is an option. I do have a shit ton of sorbethane still. Yep. Okay. Let's grab some. How do you determine how many layers of sorbethane you need to fill a case? Is there a way to measure it? Kind of? One thing I'm unsure about actually how much clearance this board actually has for sorbethane. Because I don't think it's that much. Well, for a tray mount, it's really easy to measure because your PCB will sit on these standoffs. So, like, that's the thickness I have. Right? Which is ever so slightly more than a sheet of sorbethane, annoyingly. So I'm going to have to put, like, tape on the bottom of it to raise the height. Actually, I'm not going to peel this yet. I'm going to cut it, then I'm going to peel it. How do I want to do this? Do I want to do strips? One strip top, one strip bottom? Like that? I think I'll do that, right? Well, I think that'll work out the best. Measure 8.5 to be safe. So I'm gonna knife real quick to score this. Oh, did I say 8 or 8.5, guys? 8.5. 8.5. How long? How wide do I want to make this? 8.5 by, say 8.5 by 1. And so it cuts 2 inches. Yay, I'm not good at this. Brooke, thanks for joining while you had a chance. This is diagonal. That's okay. Yep, very diagonal. It's okay. It'll still work. This is how easy it is to work with sorbethane if you know what you're doing. Cutting sorbethane by Man of Interests. I hope people don't have trouble with that anymore. Perfect. Did I blow anyone's mind with that? With that thickness, I could use scissors? I could. Absolutely correct. But this is also pretty quick. Where's my ruler? I need to have a ruler somewhere. That was really convenient and easy to work with. Oh well. Oops. This is why I use a cutting mat underneath. Should have measured this slightly small because it's kind of stretchy in your hands. So here's a trick you can use to maximize contact, at least at one point, which I recommend to people. Give it a little fold over. I'm gonna do it near the middle too, this fold over. Because that's where we have our sound issues, right? Try to make a small fold over if you could. You don't want it too thick, right? There we go. Tell me, do you guys think this is gonna work? I actually think I should have more, but we'll see. By the way, it's really sticky. If you're wondering how sticky it is. Hey, it left its little carbon imprint design on it. Nice. I could cut 2 more strips. That's okay. Oh, where's the screw? Why can't I find? Oh. I need to slide the plate over a little bit. I do need to slide it. Oh my gosh. It's like all the way to one side. Better. Has to be some merit to it. I hope so. So do you guys remember how the rest of the board sounded before the Sorbothane? Let's see the difference it might make in this board. I will say, it does work for all. It works for different boards in different ways. Some boards doesn't really help. Some boards it helps a lot with, okay? Best example, my Night Fox. See that video? It's a day and night. We can watch it together later. Okay, so let me just... Music. Pause. Fan. I didn't turn back on. Okay. Let's, You guys know the drill. How do you like them apples? In fact, it's changed all the Switch feel. Or all the Switch sound. In fact, the whole board is different. I need to fix the spacebar. Spacebar driving me crazy. Yeah, so, sorbethane. There's a reason I sold, like, over 100 orders of it. Actually, I need to order more. I just started emailing my rep again to order more sorbethane. This time I might get, like, 60% cut sizes and TKL cut sizes out of the factory, so people don't have to cut it them or have less cutting to do themselves. But it seems like time, I'm not sure it really matters, because I think the best use of sorbethane is strips, like I just did. Rather than like blanketing it and then like cutting holes for the standouts, or if it's top mounts, then, because honestly I think it's better if you have strips and like do those folds, or just put smaller strips on top, because all that affects the acoustics. Yeah, I like sorbethane. Works pretty well. Only bad thing is it's pricey. Probably the most expensive silencing solution out there, but it's pretty cool. I heard quite a few people complain about the cost of sorbethane. Which you find entertaining since smokes spend so much on boards to balk at $25 for sorbethane. Yeah, I don't know. Costs as much as like Zeal stabs for people, so. Some people in like on the buy I ran bought like 5 sheets because like I sold it for like $22 for the large sheets, which normally are between like 25 and 35 on Amazon Prime, which is like quite a bit. Yeah, Nathan bought quite a few. Nathan, did you just hear the before and after, or how it sounds now with the sorbethane? Very instructive stream. Yay. Yeah, I mean, sorbethane, like, I don't know what to say. It's like one of those things where, like, it seems expensive until, like, you're willing to do it and put the work in. You just hear the now. Well, hearing the now is enough. Because you know you knew there was ping in the middle. Kind of digging HHKB Sans blockers. Yeah, it's pretty clean. Give you guys that side angle. Dramatic focus shifting. So, sorbethane. So I'm not sure whether or not I want to run like custom cut sizes next round, because like I think the best recommendation for people is like cut strips, like I did here, and like I just cut those 2 small strips and it made the hugest difference. You don't need to put a full sheet in. You can. I don't think you need. I think it depends on the board. Some boards like this, it's fine for the 2 strips, like how I put them. Some other boards, maybe you need more than just the 2 strips. Maybe you need like a strip, and then you want to layer the top strips with like small blocker strips, right? To make the contact and have that acoustic science to it. Acoustic science. What is that? That's nothing, Huey. Yes. So any questions from the man of interests? Sell custom cut kits for Zeal 60, ROM M60 and charge accordingly. I'm not gonna lie, unless I hit like one more MOQ the next time I run it, I probably will have to bump prices, because like I financially broke even for the buy I did, which basically means I lost money because my labor is worth something. So the only issue for that buy is like shipping is this expensive. More than 1 sheet for the US is like pricey. How's your life been otherwise since you left Top Clack and up to now? Well, since I've left Top Clack, things have been going absolutely swimmingly. Really enjoying having my own like freedom and independence to work on the content I want without the how do I put it? The stigma. I don't think stigma is the right word, but being a part of Top Clack changes your view to be a Top Clackian view, as weird as that sounds. If you hang out a lot in the Discord, you might know what I mean. But it's different, and that's why that really wore on me after a long while, and that's why eventually I decided, you know, it's a great organization and everything, but and I'm really happy of, you know, helping it build to what it is now, and I know it's doing great now, but for me personally, it wasn't how I wanted to continue in terms of making content and my discovery and adventure of keyboards. Those things didn't align, so otherwise I've been doing absolutely great. You know, brought back This Week in Keyboards. We'll slowly start bringing back Which Switch. You know, I've been working with a wonderful designer who's been working on all these, who's been doing all these amazing graphics for me, which has been absolutely great. I'm planning on doing a lot of meetups this year, taking a lot of footage. I've been getting really into audio video stuff, which I'm hoping you guys have been noticing with like the upgraded production value of basically everything I do these days. Which has been absolutely A+. I mean, you see a lot of the set behind me, which is still always a big work in progress. I'm working on a few big things coming up in terms of like content. So we'll see. Let's see, what can I know last stream I talked about it. Hopefully starting next month, realistically the month after. I am working with my designer and trying to get a skeleton crew of like volunteer writers to create a monthly keyboard e-magazine, with the main goal is, you know, I want the cover of every issue every month to be something that people would want to have as a poster. You know, look really nice, really high quality picture, you know, on like A4 paper, glossy A4 paper, you know what I'm talking about. And like be really nice and be filled with like 2 to 3 articles every month written by, you know, very known members in the community. So, you know, alongside, you know, great graphics or pictures to help accentuate what they want to write about. Because I feel like in this hobby, you know, as a lot of people know in media, whether it's a streaming, whether it's a talk, whether it's like a news style show like This Week in Keyboards, a talk style show like Top Clack, or a review style, right? There's always all these kinds of media to allow people to help express, and changing the media in which you express an idea can change the message, can change how it's expressed, and I don't think there's really a good written media outlets for that. So I was thinking maybe something like, you know, low bandwidth, maybe like once a month publication that I can work with my designer on, and then like it can be like, you know, a pay what you can thing. You know, maybe it's free or maybe it's like $1, right? And you can pay up to as much as you want. And I'd want to do like, you know, a small revenue share between the designer and any of the guest writers on whatever episode or whatever issue it is of the e-zine. That's my goal of working on this. Really is, you know, like you said, Talisman, maybe like something coffee table class print quality, something really, really nice that, you know, people will enjoy the cover of and hopefully enjoy reading the articles by the authors inside of it. So that's one of the things that I'm working on my side spare time. There's also like a big stream thing that I can't really talk about yet that will hopefully unveil at the end of this month, which will be really, really, really cool. So that's a thing that I've been working on as well. So those are like the 2 big things, as in addition to like just normal Man of Interest streaming every Monday, Wednesday, This Week in Keyboards every Monday. I'm trying to work on videos on the side. I know that's been really slow. Been working on definitely upping that pace, but yeah, it's always a lot to work on, but it's always been a lot of fun the whole ride. Like, after I end the stream here, I'm gonna start shooting a video, which the script I've already prepared for. Then I gotta like edit that, have that, you know, set to publish tomorrow. And the train keeps chugging. And this is one day at a time, you know, working on all this content. So that's what I've been up to. It's been a day job, promoted, stable. Yeah, my job's been pretty stable, pretty fine. Definitely got a lot busier lately, but yeah, that's the swing of things, as they say. Still doing the same old designing. Married, pregnant. No, I'm enjoying that single life, as many would say. I will check my pings before I film, Nathan. I think I'm too devoted into doing keyboard stuff to be in a relationship, unless that person was also either into keyboards or willing to support me in my endeavors. So man, thanks so much for joining, Jeff and Faza. I know it's getting late for you guys, so thank you so much for joining me on the stream. I'm married to my keybs. That's pretty accurate. I'm married to my work relating to keybs. Like, not the keybs themselves. Because sometimes, like, if I get a new keyboard in, I used to, like, build it, like, the day of. But now, because I get so busy, sometimes, like, if I get a new board in, I can't build it till, like, the next week. Just because I'm busy with, like, filming, writing scripts, editing videos, live streaming, side projects like the magazine, and other big picture side projects I'm always working on and off for everything. It's, as they say in the corporate world, I'm juggling a lot of hats. Do people still say that in the corporate world? I don't know. Someone asked about, are you thinking of coming to some N/C meetup? Is that North Carolina meetup? I don't know. They still do say it? Okay. Am I thinking of coming to New York City for a meetup or something? Yeah, I'm thinking about coming to KeyCon in, when's KeyCon? July or June? June, KeyCon, July, Seattle meetup, I believe, is the schedule. Or it might be flipped. I don't know. I'm planning on going to both. New York is going to be a doozy. So, some of you have heard my New York plans. Some of you haven't. And for those who haven't heard my New York plans, I'm thinking of doing, like, a vlog-style keyboard adventure video. Okay, here's my New York plans, okay? I'm over here in California. The New York, you know, it's all the way across the country. East Coast. 6-hour flight. Very convenient flight time. Because, imagine, I fly out between, you know, either between 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. from the West Coast. Meaning, I get to New York and through security between 9 to like 11, right? If I'm in New York by 9 to 11, I Uber to the meetup. It's Saturday now, right? Uber to the meetup from, you know, 10 to 5 or 6. And then after that, from like 5 to 6 to like 8 or 9, I grab dinner. Then from 9 to like midnight or 1 o'clock, I party. And then I go to the airport, and then I fly back home. A nice little 18 hours of power, featuring Man of Interests trying not to die without sleep and without spending money on a hotel. So, because unlike some people, I can sleep on planes. So if I leave, you know, at like 2 a.m., I can just sleep like normal on the plane for 6 hours, right? That'll be in New York. Rejuvenized enough to go through a meetup, including filming, go through, you know, a dinner, which will help recharge me, party, then fly back and sleep on the flight home. And by the time I get home, you know, it's going to be like 8 a.m. on Sunday again. So, actually with the time change, it'll be like 5. So, I don't know if it's going to, I don't know if it's going to work. I hope it does. There's some people already betting I'm going to miss my flight back. Builds a keyboard in flight, rest at destination for building questionable and suspicious device. Yeah, wouldn't it go so well? But that's the game plan. And then for Seattle, I mean, it's cheap enough to round trip flight and like Airbnb with someone or just get a hotel room near the meetup. Fine with me. That's not too bad because same coast, same time zone, so easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So those are the two big meetups I'm definitely planning on going to this year. Also, I'm going to do my own California meetup every November, like I've been doing for the last 3-4 years now. Yeah, it's been quite a while. I've been doing a lot of meetups. Although this year for the California meetup, I've been thinking of whether or not I should, up the size significantly. Because I'm pretty sure if I advertised it, unlike last year, because last year I didn't want to advertise it because we were like over capacity. But if I advertise it this year, I could like easily fill like a 500 to 600 person space, which really great. At that point, like it's like basically an actual convention, more so than like KeyCon is in name, but like as an event, NorCal would be like a mini keyboard convention with like designated vendor stalls, and like talks in separate rooms from peoples and things like that. Maybe for November I'll do all that. It's a lot to balance. That's a plan. It's expensive too. Oh my god, it's expensive. Like, I'm really thankful I have meetups because I'm thankful for sponsors, because if it wasn't for sponsors, I'd probably be like $1,100 in the hole for the last NorCal meetup. Yeah. What's my regular job? Just curious. Don't really know a lot of these kind of questions. My regular job, I work as a project manager at a solar company. I mostly just do like design work, like 2D CAD work. Yeah, that's what I do a lot of. And some project management, phone calls, talking with the occasional person, scheduling, but just eyes in the sky of the project. To a degree. I do a lot of hands-on too. Just because sometimes when you work in this kind of thing, it requires it. You see Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Studios deal in my future? Oh, that'd be nice. I mean, I've been really getting into like film and, making movies and stuff like that. And like, I definitely want to, maybe go down something like that in the future. I just love, video stuff. Like I want to upgrade my camcorder in the future and do some cool stuff, but TBD. That's all the next things I want to do. Upgrade my camcorder. But it's not cheap. The cheapest camcorder I want to upgrade to used is like $1,000, which is like I have to sell keyboards to afford that, or wait several months of play money and not be irresponsible and get new key sets or keyboards, which I could do as well. I could do that as well. But I'll probably sell some stuff soon. So, tomorrow I'll have it's time to Marie Kondo my keyboard collection. Oh no, that hurts to hear about. Marie Kondo my keyboard collection. Man, that'd actually be legitimately tough, because some things like I just don't want to get rid of, even though I don't use that often, for sentimental value. So it's like a TBD. But there's some boards I definitely want to sell, possibly some key sets as well. It's all pretty open at the moment. I still need like inventory. I know a few people have like talked to me and they're like, Huey, catalog your stuff so we can get stuff from you because you have a lot of stuff. I'm like, oh, I will get to it soon. After I respond to PMs, do all the administrative keyboard stuff I still need to do tonight, and then film. And then while I'm editing or while it's rendering, I can catalog all my stuff that I have. That's what render time is for doing more busy work. Yeah. Woo-wee. Any other questions for the night before I head off? Oh my gosh, it's like 3 hours. Holy moly. Thanks for joining me so much for so long, guys. Is my keyboard catalog not up? No, my keyboard catalog hasn't updated in like 2 months. I have one Nebulant. You know I have one. But it hasn't been updated for like 2 months. I have a keyboard catalog. Not key set. I have a keyboard catalog. I haven't updated it in like a forever ago. So I'll probably I'll start with that tonight. And I'll make a key set one as well. Where I can like sit down, pull all my boxes out, and that's how I organize things. When I organize things, I turn to a gremlin. True story. So that's it. Thank you everyone so much for joining my stream for tonight. It's been a very, very, very fun 3 hours. I'm working my way toward affiliates. Beverage of choice. Okay, good last question. Depends what kind of beverage. I have lots of groups, okay? So for in the soda group, Coke Zero has new best friend, sorry Coke. Sorry Standard Coke. Coke Zero is new best friend. We're talking about energy drinks. Monster Mango is probably my favorites. We're talking about juice. Lemonade is probably my favorite juiced drink. If we're talking about alcohol, my favorite drink is probably okay, if it's going to be a mixed drink, I would go with a Long Island iced tea. And if it is a beer of sorts, I'm just a typical fan of pub ales and blondes. And I mean, yeah. So those are my beverage choices as I go through my life, one sip at a time. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Links to all my stuff down below. Hashtag shill, Discord, Patreon, YouTube. Until next time, see you guys on Wednesday at 6:30 is my next stream on Wednesday. I'll have a video out tomorrow celebrating the 3K subs. Yay! Which includes not one, but count them, 2 giveaways. So thank you to giveaway stuff. Yay! Maybe even 3 giveaways. We'll see. We'll see. At least 2 though. At least 2. That video is coming out tomorrow. Got to stream Wednesday. Planning on trying to have another video out on Friday. But we'll see. Until next time, you can always catch me on the Discord. You can always catch me online. I'm Out of Interests, signing out.